Back in Philadelphia on an 80-degree afternoon with a chance of rain. As we get set for the Eagles and the Giants, a short week for Tom Coughlin's Giants. Beat St. Louis 28-16 on Monday night. Giants have lost their last 6 games against Andy Reid's Eagles.
Yeah, and the culmination of those 6 games, that heartbreaking loss in December of last year. So, you know, it's tough when you lose 6 straight to anybody, but gosh, the way they lost that 6th one, devastating.
And they haven't forgotten about it either, Darryl.
Andy now in his 13th season. Eagles have made the playoffs 10 times under Reid as we take you back to last December 19th at the Meadowlands.
A walk-off punt return touchdown for the first time in NFL history. That was the 28th point scored in a little over 8 minutes in that 4th quarter. And I tell you what, it had an impact on the Giants. It had an impact, in my opinion, on the playoff scenarios. We'll get into that a little bit and how it affected the Green Bay Packers. The punt heard round the world.
Giants hoping for a little bit of redemption here today. There's Devin Thomas back deep. Giants won the toss. The rookie out of Nebraska, Alex Henry, will get things started for the Eagles. This is their home opener. Beat St. Louis on the road and then lost in Atlanta on Sunday night. Thomas takes a knee. Giants will start from their own 20. Eli Manning leading the Giants out to the field. His 106th consecutive start. Most among active quarterbacks around the National Football League.
And you can tell that Eli is struggling without Kevin Voss, without Steve Smith out there. I mean, that was a huge part of his offense. Mario Manningham didn't make the trip down here today. He's lost so much production from that wide receiver spot from a year ago. And you can see he is not confident that those receivers are going to be where they're supposed to be, and he's holding it a little bit. He's not turning it loose.
Giants with an extra blocker, the former Eagle Stacey Andrews. The handoff to Mark Bradshaw on first down, and Goose on the pregame show talked about the Giants running game. He feels that would be a key for the Giants to have any success today.
It is huge today. I mean, they are going to have to make yards with Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs running the football. The wide receiver spot, Victor Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, Brandon Stokely, they're going to be a patchwork group trying to play to their strengths. These guys up front, they have got to create running lanes for this Giant run game.
On 2nd and 10, Manning in trouble, gets rid of it, and Manning took a heavy hit on the second play from scrimmage.
Usually you don't see the pressure from Philadelphia, but it's going to be Moses Foku coming around the outside right there, untouched, getting to Eli Manning. That's just going to add a little bit more lack of confidence with your passing game right now for this Giant offense.
Third down and 10, fires. Pass intended for Brandon Stokely. Signed prior to Monday night's game, so the Giants go 3 and out.
Brandon Stokely right here, he's going to come down and have the deep in route. Watch Jarrett Page, number 41, backpedal, reads the route. Watch the play on the ball. Across the front of the receiver, prevents the catch. Good play right there.
Here's Steve Weatherford under strict orders to punt out of bounds.
Number 10 is back to return this, so it should go out of bounds. Not so easy.
Jackson across the 40 to the 42, a 14-yard return.
Steve Weatherford's got to be nervous going to the sideline right now. He is under strict orders when number 10 is back. As the punt returner, I do not want that ball in bounds. You wonder if that's his one and only mulligan this afternoon.
That's what he just wrote down there on that piece of paper. And that was in red ink also. That's not good, Moose.
I remember those days growing up in school. You don't like to see red ink on the test paper, Goose.
Never.
So the return sets up terrific field position for the Eagles. They start from the 41-yard line as Vick dumps it off to LeSean McCoy. And McCoy is chased down by Jason Pierre-Paul after gaining 9 out to midfield.
There's not many teams around the NFL that can roll out the type of players that Philadelphia can send at you. LeSean McCoy, Tony pointed out, he thinks he's the best running back in the NFL. He is running at a different speed this season. Jeremy Maclin, a huge game last week. A little bit of change in style with the guys up front. Howard Mudd has come in. He's looking for maybe a little bit smaller, athletic style offensive lineman in the middle there as opposed to the big bodies that the Eagles have had in the past.
On the 2nd and 1, it's McCoy, and he is bottled up by Mathias Kiwanuka and Deion Grant. So 3rd and 1 coming up for Vick and the Eagles.
You heard Michael Vick working the hard count there before the play was snapped, but you know, they made a custom mouthpiece for him to wear in today's game. But when I had an opportunity to talk to him before the game, he has to make a lot of the calls on the line of scrimmage to go and tell that offense which way to slide, where to block. So he said when he has that mouthpiece in, he has a tough time, you know, having a rookie center helping him make that call. So he chose not to wear that mouthpiece in today's game.
Now the toss to Deshaun Jackson, breaks 1 tackle, and he picks up a 1st down. Out of bounds at the Giants 47.
Well, you can see the speed of Deshaun Jackson because Justin Tuck plays this really well, reacts to this as he sees it coming around. You're going to see him bounce up the field, make Deshaun Jackson run the bubble. But that's the only support that's there. Everybody else got fooled on it. You had to have support come from the opposite corner with Corey Webster.
Now split backs for the Eagles with McCoy and Ronnie Brown. 1st and 10 from the Giants 47.
Hurry up, hurry up!
Penalty marker as Vick throws wide open. It's Jackson for an Eagles 1st down to the Giants 33.
Looked like Dave Tollefson lined up off sides. Something you can't do as a defensive lineman. Let's see what it is.
Jeff Triplett, our referee today.
Offside. Defense number 71. Lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
Dave Tollefson, one thing he needs to do, you need to put your hand down right where the ball is and make sure your helmet is behind the line of scrimmage. That's how you go as a defensive lineman and make sure you're not offsides. That's something he didn't do. You need to look down inside with the ball, find the ball, and line up.
Pick the team!
More movement, more flags.
False start. Number 62. Snap infraction. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
That's the rookie center, Jason Kelce, as we check out the Giants defensively.
Tough duty for these guys today dealing with all these explosive players that the Philadelphia Eagles can roll out at you, but they're pretty athletic themselves. Jason Pierre-Paul, Justin Tuck, great edge rushers. Greg Jones, it'll be interesting to see how much he plays today. We should see a lot of nickel. And a tough duty for those guys in the secondary. These Eagles are so fast.
With the Giants in the nickel, the inside handoff to the fullback, Owen Schmidt. And Schmidt gains 4 down to the Giants 35.
Hey, Gooch, and I want to get back to what you were talking about with that mouthpiece with Michael Vick. You know, they do a great custom fit, and you sure it may be a little bit more difficult to enunciate at the line of scrimmage when you're going through your cadence and your checks, but you know what? I think it's a key element when we're talking about concussions that there may not be a lot of medical data behind it to back it up to say conclusively, but I can't imagine taking the field in the NFL without a mouthpiece in.
Does a lot more than just protect the teeth.
Absolutely.
Empty backfield, 2nd and 11. Vick with time. Another flag as Vick is out of bounds inside the 25.
There is no foul on the play for an illegal pass to the face.
I was wondering if the play calling would be a little bit more conservative today. Andy Reid was critical about himself when Mike Kafka came in the game last week, that he became conservative. And you wondered with Michael Vick in there and not wanting him to take a lot of hits, any hits actually, you know, do you dial it back a little bit? And there's one of the ones that not a lot of people talk about. The helmet to the ground, especially on a synthetic surface, is a big player. We saw that with Mario Manningham against St. Louis on Monday night.
Vic on the sneak, picks up a first down. One play after hitting his head on the ground. We take you back to Sunday night's game in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, this is contact with his own player. It's just one of those things that happens during the course of a game. And you know, the NFL is doing a great job with their concussions and all the protocols they have in place. But people have to understand that plays like that are going to happen, and you can't prevent. There's nothing out there that will prevent these. It's what you do once they happen, and they've got some great pieces in place the NFL has put in over the last couple of years to make sure these guys are healthy when they return to field.
From the 23 on first down, Vic over the middle. He was looking for Jeremy Maclin, who caught 13 balls in the game against Atlanta.
It's a nice job by Michael Boley. You know, you come out as the linebacker in a nickel set, and all of a sudden you look across and you're like, I got to cover who? I pulled Jeremy Maclin on this assignment, so he gets funneled to the inside, and that's a nice job. Recognizement, run him down the middle of the field with him.
Great job with his body going and using it to get between him and the ball.
You saw Maclin roll. Some trash talk this week between those two. More flags.
That hard count again.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's one thing as a defensive player. You know, you get all psyched up when you have a blitz coming on, and obviously the Giants had a blitz, but Mike Vick does a great job recognizing it, working that hard count a little bit, and drawing the Giants off sides for 5 yards.
We saw Perry Fuel, the defensive coordinator, Chris Canty, the guilty Giant, now second down and 5. Pick out of the shotgun, handing it off to McCoy. And a nice tackle is made by the rookie out of South Florida, Daquan Williams.
We have seen LaShawn McCoy during the course of the year on some highlights, and I agree with what Tony talked about at the top. I just see him, he is at a different speed this year. I don't know what he did in the offseason. You're talking about, you know, the lockout and not being at your facilities. Well, I can tell you LaShawn McCoy was doing some serious work because he just has an acceleration that I didn't see last season.
A little bit different, though, this week. The first 2 weeks they were on AstroTurf. Now they're on natural grass. So we'll see if we can keep that speed and quickness up.
Eagles empty the backfield, third down and 6. 10th play of the drive for Philadelphia. Vick under pressure. He steps up. Now he throws. It's deflected and then picked off by Aaron Ross. Off the hands of the former Giant Steve Smith. And Ross, who was benched for a portion of the game on Monday night, comes up with his 7th career pick.
Well, it's got to be one of those scenarios where you've got a blitzer free to Mike Vick. You miss the sack. You think bad things are going to happen. And then a nice play on the deflection by Aaron Ross.
Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Back in Philadelphia, Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Aaron Ross with the interception. Eagles drive 10 plays, 40 yards, and turn it over. Giants went 3 and out on their first possession. Manning on first down, firing downfield for Victor Cruz, and it's just a bit too deep.
Yeah, Eli knows he missed one right there. He had Victor Cruz behind the defense, and it's a great play. Everything that's designed in this. Victor Cruz is on the outside here, motion in by Jake Ballard, crushed that wide 9 down inside, wash it, double move on the outside, and just beyond the reach of Victor Cruz.
Cruz with his first 2 NFL receptions on Monday night. Now on 2nd and 10, it's Bradshaw, found a hole, first down and more. Bob Bradshaw finally tackled by Jared Page after a gain of 15.
This is a great call into this blitz, great anticipation. We saw it on the first snap of the game. They come back to it. You're going to have Babin go inside, the blitzer come outside here. You're going to create a little running lane. They block it perfectly, called in. Your guard gets right up on your inside linebacker. Good blocking by that giant front and in the backfield.
Two tight ends for the Giants. The slant is caught and taken into Eagles territory by Hakeem Nicks.
Let's go back and take a look at that interception, because as we went to commercial, I'm sure everybody in the audience saw Michael Vick get hit. So keep your eyes on Michael Vick through this whole play. It's going to be Dave Tollison, the defensive tackle for the Giants, number 71. Sidestep the blitz. Steve Smith got to make that catch, but keep your eyes on number 7. As he approaches in to make a play defensively, all rules on the quarterback are off. If Michael Vick did not want to be touched, he's got to back up. He's got to retreat and give ground. Once he initiates that he's coming downfield to make a play, his protection disappears.
Bradshaw on 2nd and 1. Picks up a first down to the Eagles 44. Time for a game break. We head to Los Angeles. Kurt Menefee. Kurt?
Well, the Houston Texans trying to go to 3-0 for the first time in franchise history in New Orleans. Opening drive of the game, Matt Schaub, Owen Daniels, 14-yard score, 7-0 Texans lead. Just like that. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Thanks, Kurt. No score here in Philadelphia. Giants on the move following an Aaron Ross pick. Empty backfield on first down. Manning to Bradshaw. And Bradshaw tackled by Page. And the 40, gain of 5.
I think the way they're designing their plays right now is the best way to attack this Eagles defense, this new wide 9 that Jim Washburn has brought in for this Eagle defense. You know, get out on the edges. You know, it looks enticing inside, and when I watch him on film, you'll see some huge spaces, and you're like, boy, you should just get up here, run the ball in here. But when you talk to the players and the coaches about gap responsibility, they've got that handle. But with those wide 9s pointed in so hard, I think the opportunity is actually to get onto the perimeter.
Brandon Jacobs in the backfield on 2nd and 5 off the fake to Jacobs. Manning now hits Jacobs out of the backfield, and Jacobs will take it in for a Giants touchdown.
Casey Matthews, sometimes when you make the play fake, you'll turn the running back loose. And here it's play action pass, but guess who's going to keep running with the ball? It's going to be Brandon Jacobs. So Casey Matthews comes up, he kind of turns him loose. When he finally realizes, oh, that was my guy in coverage, the big Brandon Jacobs has even got 5 yards on him.
He recognized that way too late. You got to turn and run.
Lawrence Tynes adds the extra point. So the Giants capitalize following the Ross interception. 40 yards from Manning to Jacobs.
All right, here's Casey Matthews in coverage, but watch your routes. They're going to carry everybody to the other side of the field to let Brandon Jacobs work that entire sideline. Free him up one-on-one. Look at all that space. And as you pointed out, Tony, just late recognizing the fact that that's my guy in coverage.
Yeah, Casey Matthews definitely has to do a better job of identifying what it is. You get that play action, you got to stay with it.
Rookie out of Pitt, Dion Lewis on the return for the Eagles. Takes it out across the 22, the 23-yard line. Giants with a 7-0 lead. Brandon Jacobs with the game's first touchdown. Today's aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. With the Giants leading the Eagles 7-0. Eagles go back to work from their own 23-yard line. Two tight ends shift into the backfield. Selleck and Harbor. Vick with time on first down, and it is nearly intercepted by Michael Boley.
I don't know what Michael Vick saw, but Michael Boley standing right here, right in the middle of your screen. I mean, he doesn't even move. Michael Vick comes up, everything's cleared out. Should have never threw that ball.
Former teammate of Vick in Atlanta. Boley scored his first career touchdown on Monday night. Vick now split out to the left as the Eagles go into the Wildcat. And the direct snap to LaShawn McCoy, not Ronnie Brown, who was lined up in the shotgun as well. And McCoy tackled at the 26, gain of 3 as we check in once again with Kurt.
And the New England Patriots are at it again against Buffalo. This is Brady's second touchdown pass of the game to Rob Gronkowski. The first was to Wes Welker. 14-0. Brady 8 of 9, 2 TDs. He's got 9 on the year already. Kenny, Moose, and Goose.
Thanks, Kurt. Good start for the Patriots in Buffalo.
I think they're going to get that one. I think they're going to get Jason Peters for this one. He's got plenty of time to get back. He's got to sit in there. Be interesting to see what they decide here.
Neutral zone infraction.
They go with the defense, Goose. Now, don't complain to me that you don't get the calls from time to
Still
time.
third down.
Listen, Jason Peters definitely went across the line.
See that? No. He's got a. Jason Peters. I think it should have been on him. He's got time to stay seated. It wasn't directly at him. I don't think he was influenced. It's a smart play. You always talk about the guys doing that. You know, when they get in the neutral zone, go ahead and make a move and see if you can get that free 5 yards.
Pick on 3rd and 2. And it's complete to Macklin for an Eagles first down.
Everybody talking about how much better Michael Vick has got. Standing in the pocket, reading what's out there, delivering the throws on time. And even his mechanics, I think have gotten a lot better since he's come to Philadelphia too. Marty Morningweg, Doug Peterson done a great job working with Michael Vick.
From the 35, it's McCoy. And LaShawn McCoy picks up 13 and another Eagles first down. Finally tackled by Deion Grant.
Seems like a simple little thing when you show that little reverse coming the other way, but when you're talking Philadelphia, you've got to honor that. So this gets up the field a little bit more, makes that gap a little bit bigger. Jason Pierre-Paul can't squeeze that down and force that run. LaShawn McCoy is able to cut, get into that backside gap.
You get Deshaun Jackson coming around on that reverse, you better go and honor it.
Now the stretch play to McCoy takes it into Giants territory. Kiwanuka the tackle. You talked about Vick's mechanics, and he admitted to us on Friday, Darryl, that when he was a Falcon, he barely watched any film because he felt that teams would never play the same defense against him as they did against other teams, but that is not the case now as he spends a lot of time studying film.
And I think that's probably the time he spent here with Donovan McNabb. And Donovan probably felt the same way when he came into the NFL with the unique ability and the athleticism at quarterback. Hey, I'm not going to see what your typical quarterback sees when he watches film, but the base defenses will be the same. They'll tweak it a little bit for Michael Vick. They'll tweak it a little bit for a Donovan McNabb, but you're going to see what they run defensively.
Vick moving to his right on 2nd and 6. He sets, he throws, incomplete.
Everything just a little bit out of sync right now, Goose, with this Eagles offense.
Michael Vick does a great job of approaching the line of scrimmage. You see, he doesn't cross the line of scrimmage. He has 1 foot across, but I don't know what he's looking at downfield. When he has the receivers, I don't know. Look, he could have ran for the first down on that play. I don't know, a little out of sync. Maybe because of the practice earlier in the week that Michael Vick wasn't in. This offense looks very uneasy right now.
More movement, more flags.
Both start 79 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Moose, does it make a difference when a quarterback isn't at practice early in the week? I mean, you don't see, I've never seen the Eagles with this many penalties with offsides and just throwing to an area where you don't really see a receiver. Is it that important for a quarterback to be there on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the team to keep that timing down?
The more he can be there, obviously, Tony, the better. But I don't think with the cadence that it should make a difference. If Mike Kafka has taken a lot of the snaps early in the week, you still know Mike Vick's cadence. I knew Troy Aikman's cadence by heart. I knew when we were going on too just by his enunciation and his tone.
Vic down, back at the 40. The initial pressure and then the sack by Jason Pierre-Paul.
Wow, he got a big hit to the head on that one.
Yeah, and he's getting up a little slow, and you don't know if it's frustration or maybe something else has happened. Let's take a look at this coverage and see why he is not able to find anybody down the field. Yeah, Jeremy Maclin right away, but he was to the other side, and then as he starts to move, good job by the Giants covering everybody up.
Jazz Henry, rookie out of Florida, punting for the first time today. Aaron Ross back deep for the Giants, replacing Dominic Hickson, who was placed on injured reserve, and a fair catch by Ross back at the 18-yard line.
You're going to play the game the way you know how to play the game. You're not going to be able to convince Michael Vick to get down and to throw the ball away. He's always going to want to make that play. Michael Vick a little bit slow getting up. That's the trainer for the Philadelphia Eagles, Rick Burkholder, there coming over, checking in, making sure he's okay. Spent a lot of time together this week.
Now the Giants start from their own 18-yard line. Here's Brandon Jacobs, who has the Giants touchdown, and he gains 2 out to the 20. Casey Matthews, the tackle.
Running into the middle of that defense, and I'm not sure if that's the spot to attack this. It sure looks enticing, you know, from film when you're coming up and you break the huddle, you're like, boy, we should be able to just pound the ball to this weak side here because the gaps are so big. But Philadelphia's done a much better job of closing those and getting the assignments true.
Giants have had the ball for under 4 minutes, yet they lead 7-0. Here's Jacobs again, out to the 26. 6 more yards for Jacobs. 3rd and 2 coming up.
Let's take a look at what I'm talking about, this big gap when you walk up to the line, and it looks so, I mean, look at this spot right here. Look at that gap. I mean, it's almost 2 lanes, but Jason Babbitt is going to come upfield and then turn right down and kind of squeeze that. So what looks to be something that's vulnerable and where you can attack actually is not. It's kind of one of those things where it entices you, it tricks you to come that way. We've seen the Giants have more success getting on the outside and the edges.
Manning on 3rd and 2. And the pass is caught for a first down, and then Victor Cruz breaks free into Eagles territory, and he's still going. Victor Cruz is in for the touchdown. 74 yards.
Who would have thought it would be 14-0 with 2 explosive plays being the difference, but it would be the Giants making those plays. Victor Cruz in the slot. You know what? You can have all the great players you want, but if you can't tackle on that play, I really don't know what Kurt Coleman is thinking on that play. I mean, it was such a bad attempt at the tackle. Victor Cruz fights through it. And a huge play for the New York Giants.
It's not like he was stopping him from getting the first down. He had the first down already. Just solidify the tackle, stop there, go to the next play. You can't tackle high like that either. If you're going to tackle around the legs and stop the man.
Victor Cruz out of Paterson, New Jersey, in the shadows of the Meadowlands. His first NFL touchdown. Kevin Gilbride, Giants offensive coordinator, on the left, and you see the back of Juan Castillo, the Eagles defensive coordinator, as he chats with his linebackers, with the Giants leading 14-0. Touchdown passes of 40 and 74 yards by Eli Manning.
I'm just very impressed with the design of some of these plays and the execution by the New York Giants. Kevin Gilbride is calling a fantastic game right now, and his play design is outstanding.
Dion Lewis takes a knee. Eagles will start from their own 20.
I mean, the Eagles are being aggressive in places they don't need to be aggressive at. You know, watch this. We're going to have a linebacker here, coming off the slot. Now, what that does, that puts Coleman one-on-one right here with Victor Cruz. Look at the design of the play with the release of the outside receiver, forces him to run the bubble, maybe puts him in a position where it's a hard tackle, but as Tony said, you've already got the first down. Make sure you make the tackle. Don't let this happen, but we've seen a couple of really nice play designs by the New York Giants, and they're 2 for 3 on them. The one to Brandon Jacobs they hit. They missed the earlier one to Victor Cruz, but they got that one on a great individual effort by Victor.
And Vic fires Bears on first down, and a terrific catch is made by Deshaun Jackson out for 38, gain of 18, an Eagles first down.
And they've got to get into a rhythm. The first couple of series so far for the Philadelphia Eagles, they have not looked good offensively. Working Deshaun Jackson there, and the problem is you're worried about that speed so much from Deshaun that you're going to have some separation there because you're worried about him getting over the top on you.
Time winding down in this first quarter. LeSean McCoy. McCoy out to the 47, close to another Eagles first down as the first quarter comes to an end. The Giants on the road. 2 first quarter touchdowns lead the Eagles 14-0. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages. Giants offensive line checking out the pictures. Giants ran 12 plays in the first quarter. They lead 14-0.
Philadelphia has been moving, but we've talked about a little bit inconsistent. A really nice opening drive, you know, the deflection off the interception with Steve Smith to end that drive. The last drive not so good, but this one is starting out a little bit better, and I think maybe that's something they should lean a little bit on more right now. Tony talked about LeSean McCoy at the top. Keep feeding him the ball right now. He's running it very well.
Yeah, you know, if you're Andy Reid, you got to go to your team and say, listen, we couldn't have played a worse quarter of football than what we just did against the Giants. We have to go and get some rhythm, get something back. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go and start running McCoy a little bit more and try to build on something and then take the hits downfield.
And don't forget, Tony, that's after that disastrous fourth quarter against Atlanta. So that's back-to-back 2 bad quarters.
Our first down, here's McCoy, cuts to the outside. And finally forced out of bounds by Deion Grant inside the Giants 39.
Hey, Goose,
I thought this was a 1-yard gain here, Darryl.
No, tell everybody about your cutback guys. You know, whether he's a 1-gap guy, a 2-gap guy, and then put LeSean in that group.
I'll tell you what, when I used to go and analyze and look at running backs, I used to go and rate them by 1, 2, and 3. How many holes, once they go, say they're going to go in the B gap, the second gap from the side, either to the right or to the left of the center, and how many holes they could go and cut back. When I watch and look at LeSean McCoy, he can go 3 holes, which is the top of the rating that I would give somebody.
Ronnie Brown picks up the first down. And who are some of the guys you played against, Goose, that picked up that top rating as well?
Guys, you know what? A guy that really embarrassed a lot of players. I'm not embarrassed to say it. He embarrassed me also. You know, a guy like Barry Sanders. You know, remind me a lot. Look at it, McCoy on film. You know, the way he stops and goes vertical and gains that extra yard. You know, you ask defense coordinators if that's like hidden yardage, but they don't have an answer for you because it's just the way that he plays. He's a very talented guy and can make some unbelievable cuts.
From the 35-yard line, here's Ronnie Brown. Brown gains a couple, and Tom Coughlin with high praise for McCoy. Yesterday, he said he's the fastest running back in the NFL in my mind.
Yeah, I really think you see a difference with how he's playing. And here's a nice change-up. You know, you get Ronnie Brown in there, a bigger guy, and there's that stretch play, Howard Mudd coming over from Indianapolis, and how many times have we seen Peyton Manning coming out and running the stretch play to Joseph Adai and all the guys that played running back there. Who would have thought that? Look at that, Kenny. Explosive Philadelphia offense.
Giants with touchdowns of 40 and 74 yards. Here's McCoy on the inside handoff. You saw Howard Mudd, who's done such a terrific job throughout his coaching career, and nice exchange before the game. Mudd and Eli Manning getting together, Mudd coaching Peyton for a number of years.
Just the knowledge and his philosophies and belief in the offensive line and the great groups and the great individual players that he's worked with throughout his career. And you know, one of the guys he's really high on right now is Jason Kelsey, the center for the Philadelphia Eagles. Thinks he can be very special.
They're down at 2. Here's McCoy. Cuts to the outside. He broke free. And picks up the first down.
Moose, that's what you call a cutback. Oh, my Lord.
And You know what, Tony? I think one of the reasons that these guys work so hard is because they know the guys on the outside are going to block. We talk about the speed and the athleticism of Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin, but they get in there and mix it up too, you know? And when you come out and you see that, you have the confidence that, you know what, if I can get out to the edge, I'm going to work out to the edge because I know my wide receivers are going to be busting their butts to try and get me a bigger run.
This is the 8th straight running play for the Eagles. Ronnie Brown gains a yard to the 15.
You see LaShawn McCoy, the way he runs through those arm tackles, I mean, he has a lot of power. I mean, he's 5'11", but he could stop on the dime and run through arm tackles like that. I mean, that's special right now. I like the way, Darryl, that he goes, and when he knows he's going to get tackled, he goes and gets an extra 2 yards by coming upfield and just getting down low and darting up.
Empty backfield, 2nd and 9. Vick hit as he throws. And the catch was made, taken down to the 8-yard line by Jason Avant.
Wow, Michael Vick stayed in there to go and make that pass to Avant. Watch him right here. He's got pressure right in the face. He's there. He sees the man downfield. Getting that pressure right in the front by Rocky Bernard and makes the throw, knowing that he's going to get hit.
Vick and the Eagles facing a 3rd down and 1 from just outside the 7. LaShawn McCoy, and McCoy has an Eagles 1st down. Tackled by Williams at the Giants 3.
This has been an impressive drive by Philadelphia. You pointed out, Kenny, they're just running the ball right at him this time. You know, had a pass a play ago, but that's what 9 out of the last 10 plays have been on the ground.
McCoy in the backfield, 1st and goal from the Giants 3. 2 tight end set, Jackson in motion. McCoy takes it down to the 2. Chris Canty, first Giant in on the tackle, along with Michael Boley.
A couple free guys in the hole that time, Tony. I know he's coming right towards you.
Yeah, you tell you what, sometimes, you know, a blitz or a stunt up front, looks like all the defensive linemen for the Giants went to the left and all the linebackers came to the right, and that's exactly where McCoy was going, and they stopped him. Sometimes a blitz in this situation in the red zone is very effective.
On 2nd and goal, Vick underneath, and a loss of 2. Linval Joseph along with Chris Canty bringing down LaShawn McCoy.
This is just good recognition by this defensive front because they're going to slip it into LaShawn McCoy right here and hope that the defensive line continues past to pressure the quarterback. And they all sense screen by the way the offensive line is blocking, and they kind of sit it down and find out where LaShawn McCoy is and force some negative yardage.
Got to be alert for that quarterback draw, and Michael Vick, the center of the field, is wide open.
Vick on 3rd and goal had the pass deflected and then nearly intercepted by Kenny Phillips.
Sometimes you outsmart yourself. We talked about how effective they were running the ball down the field. They get inside the 5, and all of a sudden we want to throw it. And they're lucky that they're going to be able to line up and kick this field goal right now because this should have been intercepted. Great job getting your hands up by Jason Pierre-Paul as he comes through. Kenny Phillips, he's got to finish that one right there. And then this is just a long drive that ends in a turnover.
Pass was intended for Steve Smith, the ex-Giant. Alex Henry connects from 21, but the Eagles had 1st and goal from the Giants 3 and could not reach the end zone.
Game on Fox is sponsored by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Coming up following the Giants and the Eagles, America's Game of the Week. Many of you will see the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. America's Game of the Week. Second part of our Fox doubleheader. Giants leading 14-3 here in Philadelphia, despite the fact that the Eagles have had the ball for 17 minutes, the Giants for 5. Giants will start from their own 20. Giants took the 7-0 lead, 40 yards from Manning to Jacobs, and then Victor Cruz, 74-yard touchdown reception. This October, the American League's best teams will look to their brightest stars to see which one will become the newest hero that leads them into the Fall Classic. Legends are born in October. Our exclusive coverage of the ALCS begins October 8th. Only on Fox. Yankees, Tigers, and Rangers have clinched their divisions. Terrific wild card race. Red Sox are losing today. Tampa Bay Rays are winning. Here's Manning on first down to Brandon Jacobs. And Jacobs gains 2 out to the 22-yard line.
Well, if you watch the game against Atlanta with the Philadelphia Eagles, Trent Cole just had a monster night. Now watch what they're going to do to him. They're not going to allow him to get into the stands and just work on Will Beatty all day by himself. That's right. Brandon Jacobs is going to come by and give him a little whack. You got to give him something to think about. You can't just allow him to go one-on-one all day long against your tackle.
Trent Cole has had some big games in his career against the Giants.
180. 100.
Second down and 8. Here's Jacobs. Gains 3 out to the 25.
I'm impressed with the offensive line of the Giants right now, Tony, because they have done a good job against this defense that Philadelphia's put up. It's aggressive. We've seen them blitz a little bit more this afternoon than I would have expected. But this offensive line, especially the tight ends, when you get that wide alignment on the outside, critical for the tight ends to hold up all day.
Yeah, they're playing very well together as a group. Not a lot of breakdowns. Very sound right now.
Giants must get to the 30, and Bradshaw does. Ahmad Bradshaw still on his feet, and he is across midfield, and finally tackled from behind by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Bradshaw needed 5. He gained 42.
I can't tell you enough how well these plays are being designed and taking advantage of this. Watch this. We're going to come and kick him out. We're going to set here and then go upfield with the tackle. Just a nice job between the tight end and the tackle there, working that spot, just giving Trent Cole something else to look at. And now you got Ahmad Bradshaw just physical down the field against Nate Allen.
Giants' third play of at least 40 yards today. Manning deflects away from Cruz. And fortunately for Cruz, it is not picked off on the deflection.
Got to make those catches. You cannot allow this Eagle defense an opportunity on a ball up in the air like that. The Giants very fortunate. Very rarely do you see a ball pop up that high, not be intercepted by the defense.
Giants got one earlier on a deflection, the Aaron Ross interception, which led to the Giants' first touchdown. Now 2nd and 10.
518.
Manning able to fire downfield to the end zone. Hakeem Nicks, the intended receiver.
Hakeem Nicks had an opportunity there too, Darryl. I mean, Eli put that ball right where it needed to be. Hakeem could have got that ball in.
We finally got some pressure coming from the top of the screen. Philip Hunt, number 76, makes him move up. I don't know how he got that much on that throw, and he just misses Hakeem Nicks.
Eli's jersey grabbed from behind, still made the throw. Remind you of another play?
Yeah, a little reminiscent there, that great Super Bowl throw to David Tyree.
Third down and 10, Stokely in motion. Manning complete to Stokely, but he was forced out of bounds about 3 yards shy of the marker.
Brandon Stokely, another guy that Eli could go and really count on. An opportunity to play with Brandon. He actually scored the first touchdown in Super Bowl 35 when we played the Giants, and I was with the Ravens. And one thing that Brandon Stokely does, he will be where you tell him to be. And that's what Eli really wants. He wants a guy and he knows that this guy is going to be in a certain spot. And when he gets the ball, he goes vertical up the field. Great hands.
Giants going forward on 4th down and 3. Pass is caught, but Travis Beckham went down about a yard shy.
Oh, got to keep your feet.
Got to know where that yard marker is, too, for the first down. He could have rolled and got it.
Yeah, exactly, Tony. Hit the ground and then start rolling. There's Eli. Come on, really? We did everything right, but roll for the first.
Is sponsored by AT&T. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible.
Watch Travis Beckham right here. He comes and he makes this angle. He should be more across this line for the first down. He looks at the yard marker right there. You see how he turns his head? After he catches the ball, too, when no one touches you, Moose talked about it, roll. Keep rolling. You're only within a couple feet of getting that first down.
Instead, it was Brian Rolle, R-O-L-L-E, who made contact to end the play. Here's Jeremy Maclin. And Maclin has an Eagles first down. Out to the 42-yard line, a gain of 13.
The Giants brought a little bit of pressure from that side. Jeremy Maclin just sat it down in that vacated area, had a ton of space. That's something happened there with the coverage. You see some guys from the Giants talking to each other right now. You can't let that happen. You can't allow Jeremy Maclin to be in space with a 10-yard cushion on him.
From the 42-yard line on first down. Vick moving to his left. And then he dumps it off to the tight end, Brent Celek. And Celek takes it out to the 46 for a gain of 3.
That's making something out of nothing.
Yeah, Brian Celek was lined up all the way to the outside, motioned in, and then went all the way back. I mean, he did a lot of running for a couple yards there.
Yeah, I think he was more of a blocker that just kind of drifted downfield a little bit. And Michael Vick saw him open and said, what the heck, I'll just throw it to him, see if we can grab a couple.
Now 2nd down and 7, McCoy in the backfield. Vick had trouble with the snap, and now he takes off up the middle. You talked about making something out of nothing. Vick gains 5.
They're going to be facing a 3rd and 2 with 2 very strange plays that netted 8 yards for him. But again, that's a heads-up play by Michael Vick. Just pick it up, scoop it up, and go.
Working with the rookie center. We talked about him earlier. Jason Kelce, 6th-round pick out of Cincinnati. So now it's a 3rd down and 2 for the Eagles. Vick after a pump fake. Now he throws. And a nice catch made by the tight end, Clay Harbor, for an Eagles first down, a gain of 17.
We got something going on the Giants sideline right now. Celek coming into motion again. Clay Harbor goes down the field. And it looks like we're going to have something over here with Deshaun Jackson at the end of that play. Looks like he and Antrel Rolle continuing their conversations from during the course of the week.
One thing you don't want to do when you get a little altercation is take your helmet off there.
And now a flag has been thrown.
That was Brandon Jacobs in there.
Well, the trash talk started during the offseason between Osi Umenyiora, LaShawn McCoy, Steve Smith, when he was still a member of the Giants, joined in. And then this week, Rolle, Maclin continued some of that trash talking through the media, through social media. In fact, we asked Antrel Rolle yesterday if he heard from Steve Smith at all this week. He said, I don't want to talk to any of their guys until I shake hands after the game.
There is no foul on the play. Players were scuffling. Referee got bumped, but we were in the breaking up the scuffle. So there is no foul.
Interesting right there, because a lot of times that can end up in an ejection during the course of the game.
see Roll and Deshaun Jackson. Roll patting Jackson on the left side of his helmet. So flags have been picked up. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Here's McCoy. And McCoy still on his feet. And he looks to have another Eagles first down.
One thing about McCoy, he is so patient. He went and stopped there behind his offensive line, waited for something to open up, and then took off through that line of scrimmage.
And Goose, some more extracurricular activity. Another flag has been thrown.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 26 for the defense. Has been through the goal. First down.
That's on Roll, on Roll.
Yeah, they're not going to let this one go, and it's going to be with Brent Selleck. Watch 87. They come out blocking on the outside. Little shove there, and this is just going to continue. The guy puts you on your back. There's really nothing else you can say. Just get up and get ready for the next snap. Everybody gets knocked down in the NFL. If you haven't been knocked down on your backside, you haven't played long enough. You got to have the class to get up and go at the guy next. The next snap, play within the confines of the rules of the game.
From the Giants 11, here's McCoy. And again, it's Jason Pierre-Paul, the first Giant, in on the tackle. As we approach the 2-minute warning, Giants leading 14-3. Jeremy Backlund said this week there is nothing friendly between these two teams, the Eagles and the Giants.
No, and you can take all that frustration of losing 6 in a row and magnify it times 10 because of how they lost game number 6 last year in December.
Eagles on the move, but it's the Giants who lead as we hit the 2-minute warning.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Lexus. It's time to engineer amazing.
119 data points. This is what we can gather from an ordinary crash test dummy. 2 million data points. This is what we can gather from a Lexus crash test genius. When you pursue industry-leading safety, you don't just engineer breakthroughs in simulation technology. You engineer amazing.
Get your cash back!
Oh, hi.
Which cashback booth looks better to you? Chase Freedom or the largest cashback card?
Oh, I'll try the largest.
Oh, that is too bad. Apparently you don't know. Chase Freedom guarantees you 1% cash back. 4 times more than the largest cashback card, which only gives you 0.25% until you spend $3,000 every year. But have fun. Bob and weave once you're in there.
Don't get shortchanged. Get your cash back. Chase Freedom.
Citizens of 2149, we destroyed our home. The world you left behind fell victim to greed, war. We have been entrusted with a second chance to get it right.
We did the right thing, didn't we, coming here?
Welcome to Terra Nova.
We're starting over as a family.
Terra Nova, the 2-hour premiere tomorrow at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Welcome to paradise.
Come on!
Verizon and NFL Mobile present the NFL Red Zone Team of the Week.
3-20!
Buffalo scored 4 times in the red zone last week, including Ryan Fitzpatrick touchdown passes to Steve Johnson, Scott Chandler, and David Nelson for a comeback win over the Raiders. Catch every red zone play on Sunday afternoons with NFL Mobile, only from Verizon, built to bring you the game.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
During the break, the officials getting with both coaches, letting them voice their opinions on it, but I'm sure telling them, hey, get a message to your players and knock this nonsense off. It's been a good football game up to this point. Put the nonsense out.
On 2nd and 10, here's McCoy, cuts to the outside. He's inside the 5, and he is in for the touchdown.
is again, Tony. It's making something out of nothing, yeah. Designed to go to the right. How many is that? You talked about being able to jump cut 3 holes. I think he might have gone 5 on that one.
I mean, he just stops. He ran to his left as fast as he ran forward. I mean, I don't know anybody that can make cuts like that.
We saw that McCoy chest bump with Howard Mudd on Sunday night. He does it again.
Becoming a ritual.
Henry, the extra point. Eagles have cut the Giants' lead down to 4. LeSean McCoy now with 5 touchdowns on the season heading into the Eagles locker room.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's just to get in there a little bit early, maybe get an IV at this point. It is humid out. I can't even let you folks back home watching this on TV explain how humid it is. And these guys, fatigue will become a factor in the second half of this game.
There's still a minute 54 left, though, Darryl. If they get a turnover or 3 and out, and he could have to go back in.
Howard Mudd, LeSean McCoy chest bump. Eagles fans hoping to see a lot of those during the course of the year.
Remember what Michael Vick told us? Howard Mudd brings energy to the entire offense. I come to work every day looking forward to seeing him.
Great personality, great knowledge and history of the game.
Giants led 14-0 after 1. It's now 14-10. Manning and the Giants start from their own 20. Bradshaw, loss of 2. Jason Babin the tackle.
Eagles still have all 3 of their timeouts here.
You see the timeouts for each team on the Fox box, upper left-hand corner of your screen. Second down and 12. Manning in trouble. Down he goes. Back at the 13-yard line. It's Babin again along with Trent Cole. And now the Eagles use their first timeout.
Now these guys can bring pressure on their own. They don't need the blitz at all. We saw the game that Trent Cole had on Monday night. Look, all 3 of them are there. I mean, Jason Babin was one of the high prizes in free agency as a pass rusher. Cullen Jenkins, one of the high prizes in free agency as an inside tackle. The Eagles grabbed both of them.
Now the Giants facing 3rd down and 17. The Visa halftime report is coming up with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. Michael Vick, of course, back in action for the Eagles today. And Tom Brady and the Patriots leading the Buffalo Bills 21-7. Giants must get to the 30. Manning the screen to Bradshaw. And he's tackled shy of the 20-yard line by Brian Roll and Jamar Chaney. Eagles take another timeout as the Giants get set to punt. Well, tomorrow the television event of the season is finally here. Terra Nova takes you where no other show has gone before. 85 billion years into the past. The Washington Post calls it the biggest thing on TV this fall. Don't miss the Terra Nova 2-hour premiere tomorrow at 8, 7 Central on Fox. It's Tom Quinn, Giants special teams coach. Jeremy Maclin, not Deshaun Jackson. Back deep.
Exactly. You know what? I'd say if 18, is back there, kick it out of bounds too. 10 or 18. Just maximize your distance, but get it to the side.
Weatherford did not kick it out of bounds the last time. This time, no doubt about it.
And I tell you, it's not an easy thing to do. And watch this thing start backing up. And that's the impact that you have. They're still coming, still coming. That's in Giant territory.
And Darryl, you were exactly right with McCoy going in to the locker room. He was cramping up a little bit. They'll probably give him an IV, rehydrate him a little bit, and he'll be back out, no problem.
Guys, only 27 yards of that punt by Weatherford. It went out of bounds at the Giants' 46. Eagles with one timeout, a minute 12 remaining. And now the Giants will use their first timeout.
Timeout, Giants. Their first. It's a 30-second timeout.
Darryl, thinking back, how big was that fourth down play when Travis Beckham did not pick up the first down?
I think it is the most pivotal point of the game up until this point right now. You're talking about the Giants with the opportunity to go in, maybe get a field goal at least, and all of a sudden you turn the ball over to Philadelphia. They go right down the field. So, what could have been 17-3 all of a sudden becomes 14-10. So it's those little things, and it was designed well. Everything was there. It's a back hip throw by Eli, but Travis has got to be able to make that catch, maintain his balance, and then if he goes to the ground, just roll. We've seen so many guys do it, whether it's for the first down, into the end zone. But I tell you right now, the Giants have done a great job all first half. The one mistake was that fourth down play, and you hope it just doesn't come back to haunt them, because here comes Philadelphia again, right down the field after that poor punt.
Vick on first down, fires, and the catch is made by Macklin at the Giants' 22. And some more pushing and shoving. This time Kenny Phillips with the shove of Macklin. Down to 45 seconds on the clock. From the Giants' 22. Vick to the outside, Jason Avant. And he's tackled inbounds by Aaron Ross. And that will force the Eagles to use their final timeout.
Their second.
Go back and take a look at that big catch by Jeremy Macklin working against Aaron Ross. Release to the inside and just wide open in that zone coverage. And then again, right there at the end, I mean, I don't know what it's going to take from the officials to kind of get control of this game back as we start the second half, but it's they've lost a little bit of control on it with these guys right at the end of the first half.
They are competing, though. You got to give them that, Darryl.
Yeah, but you can compete, but you compete with class and composure, Goose. You know that.
I know.
And this has been going on all week. Twitter, newspapers.
Get a big rivalry like this up in the Northeast. I mean, these two teams, lot of bad taste in both of their mouths about all the games. Every time these guys play together or each other. Eagles are out of timeouts.
Second down and 4. And the play is blown dead.
Jason Peters, left tackle.
False start. Number 71 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Even the offensive players, we talk about defensive players being offside, but offensive players also have to look down inside. A lot of different, changes in the cadence for a lot of these teams. Offensively, you got to make sure that you don't jump, especially in a situation like this.
I wonder if this is about the number of timeouts remaining. Scoreboard says 0.
There is no 10-second runoff since the play clock was stopped already for the timeout.
So Tom Coughlin asking for an explanation from Jeff Triplett.
Put the play clock back at 10 seconds. At 10 seconds on the play clock. Thank you.
10 seconds on the play clock. 31 seconds on the game clock. Second down and 9. Eagles empty the backfield. Wow. Ball movement.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's on the center, Kelsey.
Whole right side on that one.
Yeah,
what a frustration from Michael Vick right there.
Now second down and 14 following the penalties. And Vick is out of bounds at the 20. Down to 24 seconds on the game clock. With the Giants leading by 4. It will be a 3rd down and 8 for Andy Reid's Eagles.
That's a good point by you, Tony, with LaShawn McCoy going in. They've got Owen Schmidt and Ronnie Brown in the backfield right now. Not as explosive as LaShawn. He'd be a great option on some of these plays.
Don't have to worry about that run game as much, or it being effective as much.
Vick again losing the football. And down he goes back at the 21. Eagles have to hustle to get the field goal team onto the field with no timeouts. 10 seconds on the game clock. Now down to 8. Vick hustling off the field. 5 seconds. 4, 3. Here's the snap. Ball is placed down at the 29-yard line. And the kick is good. Just inside the right upright. Alex Henry connecting from 38 yards out. For a wild scramble. Eagles with no timeouts remaining just to get the field goal unit on the field. The offense off the field. And the rookie Henry connects to pull the Eagles to within 1.
Great job of keeping their composure, because Tom Coughlin, he always has one of those hidden things that he looks at, and one of the things he talked to us about was the youth at the key special teams position. Rookie kicker, rookie punter, who's also going to be your holder. So you got 2 young guys in that situation. They maintain their composure. They get the 3 points.
Giants led 14-0. It's now a 1-point game. Visa halftime report next. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston. Eagles looked a bit out of sync early. The interception by Aaron Ross. Giants scored 2 first-quarter touchdowns before the Eagles mount a comeback.
Yeah, and I think that everybody's going to look at Michael Vick and what he went through this week after suffering the concussion. Well, is it anything to do with Michael Vick? I say no. I mean, some of the things you talked about, Steve Smith's got an opportunity to make the catch, pops it up in the air. It's an interception for the Giants. I don't think Michael Vick had anything to do on the 2 long touchdown passes that the New York Giants were able to succeed in. But the big thing is they've been out of rhythm. They've been out of sync. My question is, and Andy Reid said this after Monday night when Mike Kafka came in, I got conservative with my play calling and I sent the wrong message. Has he been conservative in the first half?
All right, here we go. Second half underway. Dion Lewis on the return. There is a penalty marker.
During return, illegal block in the back. 57 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Keenan Clayton, so this will force back Michael Vick and the Eagles offense. Their worst starting field position of the day as we check out the first half numbers. Giants only 5 first downs, a little over 8 minutes as far as time of possession, yet they lead by a point.
Yeah, I mean, Philadelphia has controlled the flow of the first half, but the Giants have made the most of their big play opportunities.
Here's LaShawn McCoy. Nice cut back to the inside. Remember, we did not see McCoy during that last drive in the first half, Goose.
Well, I got to talk to the trainers over at the Eagles. And they brought LaShawn in right before the half. Gave him a couple bags of IV because of cramping, but everything's good. Obviously, we just saw him right there. He's back to his old self, and I think this is the element that they really needed there in that last drive that they have now.
How many bags did you get, Goose, at halftime?
I could have used a couple, Kenny. I'll tell you what, it's humid down here on the field, but it's not too bad.
Now Vick on first down. Pass behind the intended receiver, Deshaun Jackson.
No, Moose, I think you made a great point. This has nothing to do with the first half of the Eagles. with Michael Vick and his concussion or anything like that. I think the timing's been off. The penalties have really hurt them, and hopefully they just settle down here at halftime to come out here and get a big drive here to open up the second half.
Yeah, and remember what Howie Long said, at the halftime show. This team can score very quickly. So, you've got to have to play here. The Giants cannot relax for a second. And unfortunately, because of their injury situation, their opportunities are critical. They can't afford to not convert a fourth down. They can't afford to have little mistakes that Philadelphia can overcome. So, their margin for error is much smaller than Philadelphia's right now.
The Giants have done a pretty good job, though, also not really letting up those big plays, that we saw the Eagles give up early in the first quarter.
And McCoy on that last run, already over 100 yards on the ground today for the 5th time in his career, 2nd time this season. Vick on 3rd and 6. Loads of time. Now he throws, and the pass is incomplete. Corey Webster on the coverage. Jackson, the intended receiver.
All right, now how many times would we get this situation and see this type of formation? 2 tight ends over here. It's really a 2-man route. You're going to get some late releases by the tight end, and then also LeSean McCoy drifting out there. But this is a 2-man route. That's max protection. So is it a little bit more conservative in their play calling? Sure. Are they concerned about Michael Vick taking shots? Absolutely. I think that has more to do with the sluggishness of the first half than just him overcoming the issues from that concussion Monday night.
Chaz Henry punting to Aaron Ross. It's angled towards the sideline. Out of bounds at the 25. When we return, Eli Manning of the Giants offense. Manning 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By the Ford F-150, the only truck available with EcoBoost. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Back in Philadelphia, Giants back on offense, leading by 1. Justin Tuck getting worked on the sideline. More than half of the Giants' yards on offense in the first half came on their 2 touchdowns of 40 and 74 yards. From the 25, the toss to Ahmad Bradshaw. And Bradshaw able to gain 9 out to the 34.
And I think that's where they need to attack this defense. The defensive ends in this wide 9 are going to be up the field right away. See if you can circle them, Goose.
Hey, you're absolutely right. Here's the wide 9s right here. They're both faces down at the ground there. You see Jason Babin, they double team him right off the bat. He gets caught on the ground. That's exactly where Bradshaw goes with the run, right over the top. They're trying to attack those wide 9s right now. That's a crazy looking stance, isn't it?
It is.
Bradshaw 2nd and 1 this time up the middle, and he picks up the Giants' first down.
With this kind of stance, you wonder if he can actually see what's going on in the backfield. Because as a defensive lineman, you want to see as much as you can. But you see his head, how it's down, looking in at the ball. He doesn't look at anything but the ball and trying to get off. And he makes his decision once he gets engaged with either the tight end or the offensive tackle. It's a lot of stress on those defensive lines and those wide lines.
From the 38 on first down, Manning, little shovel pass to Bradshaw. Bradshaw breaks free. And he is finally tackled inside the Eagles' 40 at the 37-yard line. 26 yards for Bradshaw.
Just a bad angle here in the Eagles secondary. You're going to see the play break down. Eli just flips it to Ahmad. Now watch as he breaks to the outside right there. Nate Allen on a bad angle from outside in allows Ahmad Bradshaw to get the corner.
And Jamar Chaney leaves his feet to go and dive, and Bradshaw just skirts right away.
Moses Foku is the injured Eagle. Giants on the move, early third quarter, leading by a point. There's Moses Foku chatting with Rick Burkholder. Foku injured on that last play, replaced by Akeem Jordan. Brandon Jacobs in the backfield, 1st and 10 for the Giants. Manning with time. Pass is short, intended for Jacobs.
Moses Foku, working from inside out, number 53, is going to be involved in the tackle on Ahmad Bradshaw right there. Now he's going to come up. He's got something wrong with his left arm, whether he got a burner, hit that funny bone, but he's coming across the field, motioning to the trainers, and then just, you know what, I'm going to let them come to me.
Second and 10, handing it off to Jacobs. Not much. Trevor Laws, first Eagle in on the tackle. Third and long coming up for the Giants.
Replacement of Keith Jordan. He comes in there and makes the play on that last one. They're very thin there at that linebacker spot. Shuffled around a lot there, Darryl.
Yes, they have. Complete reversal from the first two games.
Manning on 3rd and 9, in trouble. Down he goes.
This is a nice job by Brian Roll and Trent Cole, too. Number one, Trent Cole attracts the attention of Ahmad Bradshaw, so he's going to come help. Now, he reads that as soon as he sees Ahmad Bradshaw lock up to help out, I'm coming. And he's the one that actually forces Eli into Trent Cole. So, sometimes you're not even making the play, but Trent Cole, you have to worry about him so much. And Ahmad Bradshaw got locked into him that he missed his assignment in blitz protection.
Deshaun Jackson back deep, third punt for Weatherford. First one stayed inbound, second one out of bounds, but short. And the third punt is fair caught by Jackson at the 10-yard line.
Sponsored by Verizon. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call Star NFL from your Verizon phone to get NFL Mobile.
Giants leading the Eagles 14-13. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Here in Philadelphia, week 3 of the NFL season. Eagles following the punt, start from their own 10-yard line. Michael Vick today, 11 of 18, 113 yards. Sean McCoy, 102 on the ground. Vick, short drop on first down. The pass is caught for a gain of 5 by Jeremy Maclin. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call Star NFL to get NFL action on your phone. Early third quarter, 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. Giants led 14-0 after one. Eagles scored all 13 of their points in the second quarter. On second down, here's McCoy. And he is hit for a loss by the combination of Antrel Roll and Jason Pierre-Paul.
Well, that's a great job by Antrel Roll because Jason Pierre-Paul got caught inside on this to begin with. Watch number 90. He's going to get caught inside coming in from your left side. And if Antrel Roll's not there, we've seen how shifty he is to get outside.
There he goes, wrapping up the legs.
Yeah,
right, Darryl?
Don't see that very often anymore.
That's awesome. Great tackle by Antrel Roll.
How many times have we called Jason Pierre-Paul's name today?
He's just on the verge. I mean, he's a raw player, but just great athleticism.
They're down in 6. Vick will take it himself. And Vick has a first down, lost the football, pops right into the arms of Jason Peters, the left tackle.
Jason Peters has some skills there, grabbing that ball out of the air. Big man shuffling down for a couple more yards.
Hey, Goose, they had to have something wrong here with their alignment. They kicked Jason Pierre-Paul down. Now, look, this is kind of that bear look, but somebody's got to be out here on the edge, and I don't think it's Kenny Phillips. I don't think you want Kenny Phillips playing defensive end, although he does a great job getting the strip. But that play went right to where there was a vulnerability in that defense.
I like Jason Peters after he gets the ball. I mean, watch a big man like that running with the ball. I mean, that's a sight to be seen.
There's the fullback Owen Schmidt. And Goose, Jason Peters has some skills. He has 2 career touchdowns.
How many yards does he have, Kenny? That's what I want.
Not many.
Let's take a look. Look at the big man. Picks it up. Boom. Like the freight trains are coming. Get a couple more yards. Big smile on his face. He's happy. He's covering up the ball. That's a great job. Look at him down there. He doesn't want to even get up.
Off the play fake on 2nd and 8. Vic to the fullback, Owen Schmidt. Oh, and he hurdles Corey Webster and picks up the Eagles' first down.
That's some athleticism right there, Darryl. Go ahead. You speak, Darryl. All you for the fullback.
I can't. I got a big smile on my face right now. That's awesome.
Look at this. That's a hurdle.
Well, that's what you get when you're going to come in and throw a shoulder low. You know, you're going to get up and over the top. Great job by Owen Schmidt getting a couple more yards.
You ever try that, Darryl?
No, I didn't have much elevation, Kenny. I would have got caught up in the face mask.
From midfield, here's McCoy. Goose, we had a fullback moment in the broadcast booth prior to the game. Dan Klecko, who won 3 Super Bowl rings with the Patriots and the Colts, does radio work here in Philadelphia, came in to say hi to Darryl. So we had dueling fullbacks who both won 3 championship rings.
And what were they talking about? What were you guys talking about, Darryl? The fullback position is going away. They need to get more guys in the league. That fullback position is just dissolving. It's unbelievable what they're doing.
They're like dinosaurs. They're disappearing slowly.
Yes.
A couple more years, it's just going to be a memory.
2nd down and 9. Big throw is beautiful. Jeremy Maclin. And Vic took another hit. He remains down. Now he's helped back up onto his feet. Maclin gains 23.
Jeremy Maclin down here. This is just a phenomenal throw. Watch the touch. I mean, drifting back just over the fingertips of the defender. And then a big hit here by, is that Chris Canny coming in?
Yep, Chris Canny.
Jeff Triplett did a great job, though. He motioned to Andy Reid that it was the shoulder. You know, understanding what the concern would be right away, and that he was slow getting up. It was actually the shoulder. Didn't take it in the helmet, but actually the collision came to the shoulder.
And now McCoy gains 11. Another Eagles first down.
It was just inconsistent in the first half, and we saw this Eagles offense at times be very efficient, move up and down the field. We saw the stats at halftime. They controlled this game. Over 21 minutes of possession, 16 first downs. They weren't taking advantage of all their opportunities.
And they started this drive all the way back at their own 10-yard line. They've already gone 75 yards. Here's McCoy. Tries to cut to the outside. And it is Jimmy Kennedy, the New York native, former first-round draft pick of the Rams, who makes the tackle.
I'll tell you, Perry Fuel, we talked to him on Saturday and asked him about, hey, you know, what is your process going to be? You know, when you go into this game, if you could script it, if it could unfold exactly how you want it, you know, how would it be? All these weapons on the outside. He's like, you know what? I haven't quite gotten there yet. I've still got a couple things I want to look at. So that's what this offense does to people. It puts stress on you all week long. Even to Saturday night, he's not quite sure yet.
Not get much sleep last night, I'm sure. 2nd down and 11. Vic moving to his left, directing traffic. Now he throws. The catch is made by Avant. And he takes it down inside the 2.
Nice job by Avant after the catch. You know, he catches the ball not knowing that he's, you know, close to that yard marker to get a first down. Let's watch him right here. He motions out. How he comes back to the inside. Mike Vick's on the scramble, sees him. He comes back to Mike Vick's side. And then after he goes and catches the ball, see how he goes and gets vertical and heads right for the end zone. Way to keep his balance also, huh?
Tom Coughlin uses his first timeout of this second half.
Giants.
1st and goal from the 2-yard line for the Eagles, who trail by a point.
That's Mike Vick's right hand. You can see the cut right here on the top of it. So during that break, cleaning that up a little bit. Good news is it is his right hand. So
He had a big bruise on top of that right hand also.
First and goal from the 2. It is Owen Schmidt. He was ruled down, shy of the goal line.
So, you just never used to being down around the goal line with the ball in your hand, Goose. You don't know all the little subtleties of stretching it. There's the knees down, short of the goal line.
Great call by the official. Right there, at about the half-yard line.
The bad news is you know that was your one shot. You know they're not going back to that play.
Absolutely no way you're going to see that play again.
Eagles send in King Dunlap as an extra blocker. Vick looking for the sneak. There is a flag. Michael Boley made the tackle.
It'll be a face mask, right?
No, Deion Grant was trying to run onto the field, and then he ran off. So do a little count right here. If he didn't get off in time, they had 12 guys. If he was misinformed to get out there on the defensive side.
Offside. Defense, number 34. Half the distance to the goal. Still second down.
Well, you mentioned Deion Grant, Darryl.
Oh, it ain't getting half the distance to the goal down. It's getting that down back over.
He's coming in from way up here and then makes a U-turn and goes back.
So you lined up offsides, huh?
No. He was coming in from the sideline, Goose. So he's in the Philadelphia backfield when the ball is actually snapped. He wasn't on the field at the snap of the ball.
Second and goal. Vick again. No signal. Officials come running in.
I'll tell you what, that's pretty impressive by that giant defensive front up there right now. There is not very far to go at all. I mean, that ball is almost touching the end line. You can see right there, there's not much they have to get. Michael Boley up over the top, grabbing a hold of Michael Vick and hanging on.
Eagles send in McCoy. Third and goal. King Dunlap remains in as an extra blocker. McCoy and Schmidt in the backfield. Again, it's the fullback, Schmidt, and he is stuffed.
I don't know, Darryl, what do you do here? I mean, the Giants just came through that line of scrimmage like they knew exactly what was going to happen. I mean, Schmidt got hit to 3 yards in the backfield, 2 yards in the backfield.
Yeah, it was such a negative play, Tony. I don't even think about it. I agree with Andy Reid right here in kicking the 3 points. I agree with you. I mean, they were so far upfield right away and out of sync.
So
I think the Eagles could have helped themselves a little bit right there. Sorry, Kenny, with a little bit of a hard count or something. Because you know they're all low, ready to come off.
21-yard field goal is good, so the Eagles do take their first lead. You have all these offensive weapons twice. And he goes to the fullback, Owen Schmidt. Eagles by 2.
All right, they're going to let Jimmy Kennedy come free right here. The key is getting this down block, but Rocky Bernard does a great job. Watch him fight through this whole thing. They finesse it with Jimmy Kennedy. He's out of the ground. He's out of the way, but look at Rocky Bernard. Look at him right there. He's reaching through and grabbing Owen Schmidt by the ankles while he's on the ground.
Eagles settle for the field goal. Kevin Thomas takes it out. Thomas down at the 25. You saw Michael Vick a moment ago. He is now heading towards the Eagles tunnel and locker room.
Remember, it was the big hit by Jason Pierre-Paul. Kind of caught him in the shoulder. Then we saw the hand. Actually, it's Chris Canty.
Looks like his chin strap went up where he hurt his lip last week. And his tongue, that could be the problem. We're going to go check on it right now.
Get a little spit there at the end.
Mike Kafka taking some snaps on the Eagles sideline. 1st and 10 from the 26. Here's Jacobs. And Jacobs tackled by Sante Samuel after a gain of 3.
Brandon Jacobs has got to be able to get some more yards after that. Asante Samuel, not known as a real physical run defender.
He just throws the shoulder at him, and Brandon Jacobs goes down.
As Kafka finished the game on Sunday night in Atlanta. His first regular season action in the NFL. Time winding down in this third quarter. Giants led 14-0. It's now a 16-14 lead for the Eagles. Jacobs out to the 31, so the Giants now facing a third down and 5. And that will do it for the third quarter here in Philadelphia. Fierce rivals, long-time NFC East rivals. We head to the fourth quarter. Eagles lead by 2. Fox NFL Sunday will continue in a moment. What a game. Eagles leading by 2. Giants with 2 first quarter touchdowns. Eagles have come back. Eli Manning and the Giants facing a third down and 5. They must get to the 36. Manning can't find anyone, and he is taken down back at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, they got away with a face mask right there.
Jason Babin with the sack.
Jason Babbitt coming from the top of the screen. As Eli moves up, watch him reach over the top. Just grab that face mask.
Well, that's the problem when you have the umpire and the referee both behind the quarterback, and no one can see that. You see him right here in the back.
Great point, Goose. Jeremy Maclin back deep for the Eagles. Lets it bounce, takes a Giants roll. Out of bounds at the 28. Here comes Mike Kafka in at quarterback for the Eagles. Michael Vick has gone in for x-rays on his right hand. Well, a moment ago during the break, Michael Vick returned from the Eagles locker room with Mike Kafka out on the field in the offensive huddle. Vick has now returned. Kafka to the sidelines.
Pretty speedy turnaround right there.
It's all about the speed, Darryl.
Vick does not miss a play. Eagles start from their own 27-yard line. Vick hands it off to McCoy. Big hole up the middle. And McCoy all the way out to the 48-yard line.
I thought he had him, Goose. I thought he was going to make that last guy miss. This opens up quick, right into the middle. Wow, great blocking up front.
Nice job by Owen Schmidt, going and leading him up right there. Look, turning it out.
21 yards for McCoy. Aaron Ross is the injured Giant. Giants medical staff working on Aaron Ross.
Looks like he's suffering some cramps. They've been working that calf area, flexing that toe.
Got to stay hydrated.
Absolutely.
Drinking water up there in the booth, used to?
You know down there, Goose. I hope you are.
Yeah, I am.
From the 48. On first down, this is Dion Lewis. The rookie out of Pitt.
I'll tell you what, this Eagles offense is loaded with guys from the University of Pittsburgh.
Sean McCoy, Dion Lewis,
loaded up, 2 of them. They might want to look at Notre Dame next year.
Yeah. Pitt could use these guys to go back after the last couple of games. Iowa, then the game yesterday. Oof.
Now McCoy tells Lewis, get back to the sideline. I'm coming back in. Second down and 7.
Big 15, 15. White 30. White 30.
From the Giants 49, it's McCoy. And he is tackled for a loss by Matthias Kiwanuka.
Well, that's what you got to do as a defensive lineman when you're going up against a running back of this caliber. Just keep coming upfield. What it does is it forces him to go and cut. When he gets the guys upfield, and then all of a sudden you're going to get a shot on, like you do right there. Then you got to go and make sure you get the tackle like Kiwanuka does.
Loss of 2 on the play, now third down and 9. Early fourth quarter, Eagles leading by 2.
White 30. White 37.
Eagles must get to the Giants 42. And that is the first catch today by the former Giant Steve Smith, but he is about a yard shy.
Yeah, big loss for the New York Giants, and I think it really caught them off guard. You know, when Steve Smith came down here and signed on with the Eagles, the Giants had no opportunity to match that contract, and just a bizarre turn of events.
Yeah, I talked to John Mara before the game. He says they made an offer, and then Steve Smith's agent never came back to the Giants, and next thing he knew, he was signed by the Eagles, which was like really crazy to him. He couldn't believe that it actually happened.
And now on 4th and 1, Eagles leave the offense on the field, and McCoy is tackled by Michael Boley back at the 46-yard line. So the Eagles on 4th and 1 going for it, and McCoy is stuffed.
One of the big things you have to do, and Tony has talked about LeSean McCoy's ability as a cutback runner and jumping, but in short yardage, you've got to be downhill. Deion Grant makes a great play right there, forces him to stop his feet, move. Now here comes your pursuit. And this situation, understand it. You've got to just get up there, hit it, drive the pile. Drive the pile. Much different on 4th and 1 than any other down, obviously. And the Giant defense rises to the challenge.
A huge play for the Giants defense. Best starting field position of the day for the Giants offense. As Manning finds Hakeem Nicks at the Eagles 45. He took a shot from Jason Babin at the end of the play. Gain of 9 for Nicks.
Holy cow, I thought that was going to be like a linebacker, Jason Babin. I mean, he ran all the way around from the opposite end, pressures the quarterback, and then just continues straight downfield.
Man, another bad tackle by Nnamdi Asomugha. Man.
Eagle trainers continue to look at that right hand of Michael Vick. Went in for x-rays, did not miss a play. Second down and 1. Bradshaw cuts to the outside and has a first down.
Similar situation there with Ahmad Bradshaw, but he has a much better result than LeSean McCoy did. Bounces it outside. And you leave your spot. You talked about it, Tony. Everybody's got to have that gap, and all of a sudden you see the running back kind of up in the middle. You leave your support contained, and you come inside, stick your nose in there, and he bounces out right where you were.
Only the second first down this half for the Giants from the 40. The toss about Bradshaw. Bradshaw stays on his feet, running hard. Takes it down to the Eagles 32, a gain of 8.
Man, from the get-go, the Eagles were just out-leveraged with the offensive line of the New York Giants to that right side, exactly where Ahmad Bradshaw ran. Well, they had a slot out there, a tight end. They had no force.
Tough running by Ahmad Bradshaw right there. And there's Trent Cole. Now he came from the opposite side, not to be outdone by Jason Babin. He talked to us that the key to this defense is running. We're seeing it from both of these defensive ends.
On second down and 2, the fake end around to Cruz. Manning going deep, and the pass is broken up by Brian Roll, the fullback. Henry Hynoski, the intended receiver.
We saw a similar play with Brandon Jacobs go for a touchdown when they made the play fake to him again. They're going to clear the field again and try and slip the fullback on the route down the field this time. Come out on your release, show flat route, then turn. Henry Hynoski's got to sell that flat a little bit longer. Sell the flat, get Brian Roll to bite on it, and then make your turn to keep your separation.
Yeah, there was no sell there for Roll to go and bite on. Exactly right there.
And now Manning calls timeout.
Timeout. Giants.
So a third down and 2. Upcoming with 9.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the Eagles leading the Giants by 2. Coming up, America's Game of the Week. Game 2 of our Fox doubleheader. Many of you will see the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Falcons taking on the Bucs in Tampa. Seahawks host the Cardinals. America's Game of the Week. Right here on Fox following the Giants and the Eagles, and then the OT will conclude our day of football here on Fox.
Great games this afternoon on Fox. Rematch of the NFC Championship game from last year. We had Chicago week 1, and I still remember what Brian Urlacher said when we were sitting in meetings with him. You know, as explosive as Green Bay is, last year they held them to 17 points, 10 points, and 14 points. So, great divisional battle coming up after this one.
He also told us, hands down, Aaron Rodgers, best quarterback in the NFL. 4th down and 2, and Brandon Jacobs inside the 30 picks up a Giants first down.
Giants have been very opportunistic during the course of the afternoon. In the first half, a couple of really well-designed plays get them 14 points, and then on the 4th and 1, the defense makes a big stop. Their offense really hasn't done much through the 2nd quarter and 3rd quarter, and here they come with good field position, putting together a nice drive here to try and get down and take the lead back.
Bradshaw replaces Jacobs, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Here's Bradshaw. Down to the 28, gain of 2. Trent Cole made the tackle.
They're getting better, Tony. I mean, this defense started off the year with some issues in the run game, got hit big by Steven Jackson on the first couple of carries, gave up some big plays to Michael Turner last week, so you knew coming into it. You know, if you made this point, you know, during the pregame show when you had the little bump in there that, you know, you really felt it was going to be critical for Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw to run. Philadelphia's defense has done a good job at times, still giving up those big plays here and there.
Play action, 2nd and 8. Manning fires, Cruz makes the catch, and he is in for the Giants touchdown.
How about Victor Cruz this afternoon?
In double coverage on this play.
I tell you what, Nnamdi Asomugha, so we think he's going to be on Hakeem Nicks all afternoon. There goes Victor Cruz. Nnamdi plays it perfect. He's got safety help, but look at the strength at the point of the catch by Victor Cruz. That's awesome.
Now remember, all scoring plays are reviewed. It was ruled a touchdown, so the officials felt that Cruz crossed the plane before he lost the football. But they will take a look. So Jeff Triplett will take a look at it. Here's referee Jeff Triplett.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Receiver caught the ball, stuck it over the goal line plane before he lost possession. It is a touchdown.
Let's bring in our Fox Rules analyst, Mike Pereira. Mike, is that how you saw it?
Absolutely how I saw that, because here he has completed the catch, had both feet down, then he was knocked toward the ground. So he had actually become a runner at this point. So then as soon as the ball broke the plane, then it's over at that point. You know, you get concerned about players going to the ground, but he's got it on his feet, then thrown to the ground. He's a runner at that point. It is a touchdown.
Thanks, Mike.
You got it, guys.
And now the Giants will go for 2. To the end zone, he was looking for Brandon Stokely. There is a flag in the end zone.
Pass interference, defense, number 41. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Retry.
So the Giants will get another opportunity. Going for 2 with a 4-point lead. I guess if you're successful, 6-point game, Eagles can only tie it with 2 field goals.
Or the other thing is you can block the extra point on a touchdown and salvage the tie also. So some contact in the end zone with Brandon Stokely.
So this time from the 1-yard line. Jacobs Jacobs is in. 2-point conversion for the Giants, and they lead by 6.
Well, the mantra has been to finish all season long, and that was a heck of a finish right there by Brandon Jacobs, because from my vantage point, it didn't look like he had all that great of a chance to get in there. So some good, tough running at the end of that one.
Yeah,
they did exactly.
Does a nice job after the contact. He sort of slides to his left, turns his shoulders, and slips right in.
I mean, right now you've got it the way you want it with Brandon Jacobs. His shoulders were not square to the line of scrimmage. You had him running parallel, so that was a nice job of getting squared and finishing. Right here, I don't think he's going to make it, Tony. You saw the penetration. He's running parallel to the line of scrimmage. But yeah, I really think, you kind of, some people would look at that and go, well, why go for 2 here? What's the difference? But that 6-point cushion, you give up a touchdown, you just do everything you possibly can to block that extra point to force a 22-22 tie.
There's Victor Cruz. 2 catches today, 2 touchdowns. Today's aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. The Giants now leading the Eagles by 6. Michael Vick on the bench without his helmet. Mike Kafka with his helmet on, chatting with offensive coordinator Marty Mornhinweg. So it appears as if Kafka will come in for the Eagles. Trailed 14-0, took a 16-14 lead, and now
you can just see the grimace on Michael Vick's face as he's just kind of moving around there. So he's taken some big hits today, and even at times when he's gone to the ground, he's been hit hard.
Vick throughout his career has started all 16 games only once. Started 12 for the Eagles last year. And Andy Reid has said, I never would have traded Kevin Cobb if I didn't trust Mike Kafka. We saw the job Kafka did when he came in last week.
Well, the big question will be in this situation, Andy said it after the game last week. I became conservative with my play calling when Mike Kafka came in. Will he get away from that today and trust him more? But it's been a long afternoon for Michael Vick. I mean, he threw an interception and came down to try and get in on the tackle and took a big hit there. And he's been hit as he's released the ball on several occasions. The last one there with his right hand went in for x-rays on that.
Went in for the x-rays on his right hand. He went through extensive testing this week. Suffered the concussion on the hit from his teammate, the right tackle, Todd Hermans, on Sunday night. Went through 3 half-hour computerized impact tests, one on Tuesday, one on Thursday, and one on Friday. Supervised workouts with the medical staff, balance testing. Went to visit an independent neurologist on Thursday, and he was cleared to play here today.
And that's the big thing, the return to play policy that the NFL has in place, and it starts with the cognitive, and you mentioned the impact testing, but also, Andy Reid reaching out to Marty Mornhinweg and Doug Peterson, the coaches. How's he doing?
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
The 2-point conversion was reviewed.
And then once you get through the cognitive element of the testing, and there's Rick Burkholder again, is the exertional. And you're going to get into some cardio, and they're going to ramp your heart rate up. He said he took him to 30%, 60%, then 80%, and you've got to come through that without any symptoms. You've got to be asymptomatic coming out of those tests, and then, as you pointed out, got into some of the balance stuff and vertigo where you drop down and pick things up and stand up, and after that you get to the independent neurologist. And Michael Vick went through the process and was able to start today.
And the coaches and trainers also spoke with the other quarterbacks, Mike Kafka and Vince Young. Hey, how did he seem in the meetings? Did he seem like himself? And the answer from all parties was yes. Eagles will start from the 20. We check in with Kurt Menefee. Kurt?
The Lions were down 20-0 at halftime against Minnesota, but here Matthew Stafford hooks up with Calvin Johnson for the touchdown, and it's 20-17 right now. Kenny, Moose, and Goose, I know you know, Lions make up the Vikings have blown double-digit leads in each of their first 2 games.
Yeah, they blew one out in San Diego week 1, and then Tampa Bay got them last weekend. So
got to finish.
Yeah, Minnesota having the same problem that the Giants had last December.
So Kafka in at quarterback, 8:07 remaining in the 4th quarter. Giants lead the Eagles by 6. Kafka 7 of 9, in last week's game, and his first pass today is intercepted by Aaron Ross, his second pick of the game.
Well, this is just a bad decision by Mike Kafka, and Andy Reid is going to be aggressive. It's a double move, and then you're going to go. But guess what? Aaron Ross doesn't bite on the double move. He continues to bail, so you don't make this throw. You've got to check it down to one of your running backs and line up again.
Ross benched last week, 2 interceptions today.
Well, there's Michael Vick sitting on the bench. You can see a little bit of the frustration, and there's Jason Avant coming over consoling him. We've just gotten word that he has a broken right hand. So I think what happened is he went in, got the x-ray, they told him it was broke, and he decides, hey, let me go out and see if I can play. It's my off hand, it's not my left hand. Let me go see if I can manage the pain and get through this game. And he comes out for the one series, doesn't work, and then he's out, and now Mike Kafka is back in the game.
So a broken right non-throwing hand as Bradshaw gains 2 on that play.
There's the big hit by Chris Canty. Now, does he do it as he puts his hand back right there, or did he get contact during the collision with Chris Canty? But we think that's the play that it happened on.
Remember, he went to the locker room, did not miss a play, came back out, but then Kafka sent in for the last series, and on his first pass was intercepted by Aaron Ross. Now Manning on the slant to Victor Cruz, and he's tackled a yard shy of the marker. His first catch today that is not a touchdown.
What a great performance by Victor Cruz today. I mean, just great individual efforts. The first touchdown, the long touchdown, just a great job breaking the tackle. First of Kurt Coleman, then of Nnamdi Asomugha. 3 catches, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then the second one, just a great job at the point of the catch, battling for the ball between 2 defenders.
It's all about taking an opportunity and make the most of it. Manningham goes down, Victor Cruz is in, and the rest is history.
3rd down and 1. The toss to Bradshaw, breaks a tackle and has a Giants first down to the 45-yard line with 6.5 minutes remaining.
And we've seen a couple of tough runs by Ahmad Bradshaw. We saw Brandon Jacobs on the 2-point conversion. I mean, they are making these Eagles look like a group of poor tacklers.
And controlling the clock. You know, when you run the ball, you can control the clock. You could really wear out the defense. That's exactly what this Giants offense is doing.
And Michael Strahan in our studio talked about the lack of tackling on both sides at halftime. Another example right there. New set of downs for the Giants, who lead by 6. Under 6 minutes on the clock. From the Eagles' 45. Manning to the outside, and this is the tight end, Jake Ballard. And Ballard picks up a first down as he gains 15.
Jake Ballard just releasing out to the flat. Nice job with the catch and run right here.
Ballard shaken up. Giants looking to replace Kevin Boss now in Oakland.
It's a tough loss. Tough loss. We talked about it at the top. I mean, Eli Manning loses Kevin Boss and Steve Smith. You know, his 2 guys that work the middle of the field. You know, they'll get Mario Manningham back. They've got Hakeem Nicks, and now Victor Cruz has stepped up, but still trying to find that guy that can work the middle.
Number 30, here's Bradshaw. You mentioned Boss, Smith, and Manningham. Those 3 accounted for 42% of Eli Manning's completions last season. There's Ballard on the sidelines, and Goose mentioned Manningham out today with the concussion. They lost Dominic Hickson for the season last week, brought in Brandon Stokely, signed Michael Clayton on Friday. He is inactive today, but Victor Cruz has come up big, brought in as a free agent last year out of UMass, played in only 3 games, no receptions last season. A breakout game for Cruz here in Philadelphia today. Second and 10, inside handoff to Bradshaw. Bradshaw down to the Eagles' 29.
I just like some of the play designs that the Giants have done today. They've tried to counter this wide 9 stance by the ends and use that upfield pressure as an advantage to them. Create some good blocking angles. And we've seen a couple of nice plays hit off the perimeter quick. Almost another one right there.
They're doing just a great job of setting everything up there and being patient. They're waiting for their opportunities. Run the ball, wear the clock down, and when we need to go and have a matchup, we go and set it up.
must get to the 20-yard line. 3rd down and 9. Manning complete to Nix. And he stopped about a yard shy. And the Eagles will use a timeout. They stop the clock with 3:48 remaining as the Giants send in the field goal unit. Giants will look to add to their lead when we return. Giants lead by 6, lining up for a field goal attempt. Fox Animation Domination is finally here with the night of season premieres. It's complete comedy chaos with all new episodes of television's most animated night. Fox season premiere Sunday starts tonight at 8, 7 Central. Eagles took a 2-point lead late in the 3rd quarter. Victor Cruz with his 2nd touchdown of the game. Giants adding the 2-point conversion. They lead by 6, and now a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Lawrence Times.
Oh boy. They jump off sides and give him a 1st down.
Encroachment.
Wow.
Number 93 of the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Wow.
The defensive line is saying that the ball, the center moved the ball. Let's take a look.
No, he squeezed.
He squeezed the ball.
That's nice.
That's a
Zach
heads-up play.
Veteran right there. Exactly. Just a little squeeze on that ball.
Yeah, them linemen are so tuned in to that move, any movement of that ball. But Zach Diassi actually moved his thumb, didn't move the ball, and they went on that.
Tony, you talked about how much pressure they have in that stance. You know, being that, you know, the head down low and the hips up high. I mean, there's no way they're going to be able to resist that.
So a new center down to Bradshaw. Hard to believe, guys, that was the first play the Giants have run from inside the red zone. Their 3 touchdowns were from beyond the 20. Timeout is taken by the Eagles as we check in once again with Kurt.
New England once led Buffalo 21-0, but Tom Brady's thrown 4 interceptions in this game. He threw 4 on last year. This one by Drayton Florence taken back to the house. 27 yards for the touchdown, and the Bills have come back to take the lead 31-24. They're celebrating in Buffalo right now. Still a long way to go in the 4th, though. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Thanks, Kurt. We talked about the Eagles' 6-game win streak over the Giants. How about the Patriots? They've won their last 16 games over the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, hang on there, Bills. Hang on.
Darrell, of course, a Buffalo native.
Anchor Bar will be hopping tonight, Kenny.
Not over yet.
I know. And every fan in that stadium knows that, too, with Tom Brady, even though he's thrown 4 picks.
2nd down and 11. Eagles with 1 timeout remaining. The toss to Bradshaw. And a nice tackle is made by Trent Cole.
And here's the question I had. Look at that stance. So he's got to come up and then out. And that's just tremendous athleticism. And then look at the strength in the hands, you know, to get Ahmad Bradshaw down. We've seen how physical a runner he is. But you know, they run this wide 9 stance in these defenses, and it's unique because you have Trent Cole and Jason Babbitt. You know, all the guys that have Philip Hunt, you know, Jaquay Parker and Darryl Tapp, who are out of the lineup right now with injuries, still kind of fit that mold, that style of that guy that can play that defense. So Juan Castillo trying to maximize the effectiveness of this defense and the personnel that they have on their team.
And the Giants have done a really good job of neutralizing the wide 9 today.
They have. And when you saw, I mean, we saw the game against Atlanta Monday night, and Trent Cole was just a force. And they have done a tremendous job, Tony, really. And Cullen Jenkins, too. We have not called Cullen Jenkins' name all day today.
Eagles out of timeouts. 3rd down and 11. The screen to Bradshaw. And Bradshaw will take it all the way in for a Giants touchdown.
Another phenomenal play call and play design by Kevin Gilbride. I mean, these guys just come flying upfield. I mean, every single one of them, watch all of them, right through their gaps. Everybody's coming. You just slip. Ahmad Bradshaw goes by. Look at the wall out there. Great job turning back inside, making sure there's no pursuit. Hakeem Nicks finishing it downfield with a nice block.
Hines adds the extra point. Eagles could only shake their heads as they now trail by 13.
Well, it can never be safe, right? It was, I think, 8:13 to go last year in the Meadowlands when it was 31-10, and you would think that you would have that game well in hand. Now we're 13 points here with 3:32, so boy, they did 28, and here it comes, 8:17 remaining, and then just could not stop that Philadelphia offense. And then the special teams won with the walk-off punt return. And you talked to Antrel Roll, and he said, we looked at that film, which is the hardest thing to do when you have a loss like that, is to actually go back and revisit that game. And he said there were 9 big plays during that final 8 minutes and 17 seconds, and 8 of them we could have prevented. It was actually more of us than it was Philadelphia just actually beating us talent to talent. So as devastating as it was, they could put it into some type of perspective to be able to come down here and have the type of performance they've had here with a short roster, with all the injuries that they face, especially at the wide receiver position.
Down for Eli Manning, his 4th touchdown pass of the game, tying his career high. He threw 4 in that game last December against the Eagles at the Meadowlands in a losing cause. 6th career 4-touchdown game for Eli. As Tynes kicks off with 3:32 remaining, and the Giants leading by 13.
Go back and take a look. The last 2 scores for the Giants. There's the one, Victor Cruz, just double coverage, goes up strong, makes the catch, breaks the plane before he loses it. And here's a great one to take advantage of that aggressive Philadelphia Eagles defensive line. Just a great little slip screen. Some good blocking inside by the offensive lineman who came out in the screen, and then Hakeem Nicks with a great block down in the corner of the end zone.
So Mike Kafka in for Michael Vick, who suffered a broken right hand. Pass is caught by the tight end Brent Selleck, and Jaquan Williams keeps him inbounds. Eagles with no timeouts remaining. Let's talk about this Giants defense, Darryl. The last 3 Eagles possessions, Giants stopped them twice inside the 1, hold them to a field goal. Then McCoy stopped on 4th and 1. Eagles give it away on downs, and then the interception by Ross. So the Giants defense with some terrific plays to end drives here in the second half.
Well, that finish, everybody's been preaching it since the game last year, and Perry Fuel's group today has done a great job finishing drives, finishing series.
First and 10 from the 31. Kafka in his 2nd season out of Northwestern, a 4th-round draft pick last year. Did not see any action, and he is sacked by Jason Pierre-Paul, who remains down. He has had a tremendous game today.
He really has. He's played outside at the end spot. He's kicked down inside to the defensive tackle spot. Here he comes fighting through right here. Hard to see anything there. Obviously in pain at the end of it.
And he was challenged by Perry Fuel, his defensive coordinator, this week. He asked Jason Pierre-Paul which JP will show up. Will it be Jason Pierre-Paul or the Eagles left tackle, Jason Peters? And I think we know the answer.
Yeah, we do. 9 tackles and 2 sacks for Jason Pierre-Paul.
So he is worked on by the Giants medical staff with 2:43 remaining here in Philadelphia as we head west to Kurt Menefee. Kurt?
Well, sometimes you need a little luck to get some victories. Houston getting that today against New Orleans. Matt Schaub's pass knocked around into the hands of Kevin Walter. He takes it for a 20-yard score. That put them on top 33-32, 3.5 remaining. Houston trying to go to 3-0 for the first time ever. Kenny Moose and Goose.
All right, thanks, Kurt. News gets even worse for the Eagles. Vick, the broken right hand. Jeremy Maclin has suffered a hamstring injury. Second down and 16. Kafka over the middle to Avant. And a nice tackle by Roll at the 30. Eagles no timeouts remaining. They trail by 13. On 3rd down and 11. The slant is broken up by Ross, intended for Steve Smith.
What a game he's had today, and what a great response by Aaron Ross. The guy last week who was taken out in the third quarter, and he's just had a great afternoon today. Good adjustment on the release. Got beat it right at the release for a second, but fights to get back in, gets that arm in to deflect it out.
See the depth of the safeties back there. They're just trying to keep everything in front of them. No big plays. The Eagles go and use this clock up.
Well, it's 4th and 11, and there's Smith who picks up a first down. His second catch out to the 49. Eagles with no timeouts, and this will take us to the 2-minute warning following the 19-yard reception by Smith. The Giants have scored 15 here in the 4th. 2 minutes remaining in Philadelphia. What a fourth quarter for the Giants. There's Victor Cruz on the left, a pair of touchdowns today. 15 points here in the 4th. Eli with 4 touchdown passes. The last to Ahmad Bradshaw. Aaron Ross with 2 picks. 2 minutes remaining. Eagles out of timeouts. Mike Kafka in for the injured Michael Vick. Kafka fires downfield looking for Deshaun Jackson. It is picked off by Kenny Phillips. He goes down, and this will give the Giants the ability to run out the clock.
Well, the 2 interceptions that Mike Kafka has thrown are balls that he would like to have back. This is Deshaun Jackson coming in motion, just going to go right up the seam. But Tony mentioned it. Look how deep your safeties are playing. You know, really nowhere for him to go. He had 3 verticals. There was not really a check down, a bailout for Mike Kafka in that design. You throw it up into the middle of the field, maybe take one of your outside receivers on that vertical route.
5th career pick for Phillips.
What a great job by this Giants defense in the 4th quarter. End of the 3rd, beginning of the 4th, just phenomenal.
Darryl, our game summary. Vic with the broken right hand. Victor Cruz, first 2 touchdown receptions of his young career. Eli Manning ties his career high, 6th game with 4 touchdown passes. 3 Eagles turnovers have led to 14 Giants points. We mentioned right at the top, the Eagles have won the last 6. Well, Tom Coughlin reminded us yesterday, my teams have had success here in Philadelphia. This will be the Giants' 5th win in the last 8 games under Tom Coughlin here in Philly. As Manning takes a knee.
You can chalk a little bit of that up to the defense in the second here for the Giants. The Eagles had a 1st and goal at the 2. There's a great play by Rocky Bernard stopping Owen Schmidt. They have to settle for a field goal. Here's a 4th down just inside Giants territory. That gives them the ball back. They go get points there. There's the first interception by Mike Kafka on a double move. And then there's the last one that he threw right there.
So redemption for Aaron Ross after he was benched last week. Redemption for the Giants. They heard about it during the entire offseason, the preseason. This week, the 28-point 4th quarter by the Eagles last December. The Jackson walk-off punt return. But it was the Giants today who come to Philadelphia and will travel home up the turnpike with the victory. Michael Vick with his ex-teammate Michael Bowling. The concern here in Philadelphia this week, once again, the health of Michael Vick. Giants go to 2-1. They will travel to Arizona next week. Eagles 1-2. They will host the San Francisco 49ers. For Darryl Johnston and Tony Siragusa, Kenny Albert saying so long. Now to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.